Well, this is the first time I've started an online assembly. I hope you are really going to enjoy it. The year leaders have had such great fun recording this assembly for you, and it's something that we're going to do regularly because we really are missing you, and it's important we keep in contact. So many of you have engaged with that online learning and done so well. I've looked at some of the work that you've been uploading onto Show My Homework, and the effort that you're putting in is absolutely fantastic. So once we are all back together in the academy, it's really going to be good to really spur that learning on. So thank you for all your efforts. It's absolutely brilliant, and the teachers are so pleased. With regards to building, the new building is going to be ready for September, so that's really good. And when you have your English lessons, that's where the English lessons are going to be, is in the new build, as well as your Spanish and French lessons. So you will see that new build, and it looks absolutely fantastic, so that's really, really good. And I hope you're all keeping well and safe, and that you're following all the guidelines from the government, which we all are, with the safe distance, and also keeping alert, all those phrases. And I've seen so many of you engaging with those activities where we've been clapping for the NHS and all the key workers. And keep engaging with those activities, because it's great to see, because it isn't just about the learning, it's about all being one as the Belfairs team, because we really do miss you. But anyway, enough from me. Enjoy the assemblies.
Hello Year 13. I'm so glad I'm able to make this video for you, just a short assembly type video. I can't believe it's been 8 weeks since we had our Leaders Assembly on that Friday, and actually quite an emotional goodbye for quite a lot of you, and for me as well. And we've had such a sort of turbulent time in between. For me actually, it feels like longer than 8 weeks ago that we were all together. But I was looking back at some of the photos of that Leaders Assembly that we had just the other day, and it really made me smile actually, seeing all you guys again, even if it is just on a photo. I'm so proud of the way that all of you are managing your time during this lockdown, and we've had quite a lot of feedback from teachers and from your parents as well about how amazing you've been over this time. These are really difficult times, and these are historic times as well. These are things where, you know, future generations are going to look back at this time and question you about it. It's something that you'll be telling your kids and your grandkids about in future times. We've had some outstanding work produced by some of our students that need just a bit of an extra push in some of their subjects to convince our teachers that they deserve those top grades. We've also had some outstanding contributions to our local community and socially from some of our students. It proves how proactive we're being within the community. We're really living in that Belfairs spirit and continuing that through past the time that we're here. You've heard me say it probably quite a few times over the last couple of years in assemblies, but doing unselfish things for unselfish reasons. It's such a big mantra of mine, really going out your way to help somebody else, not because it benefits you, but because it benefits them. We've had our heroes that have come to light in the country recently, our key workers, our critical workers, frontline NHS staff that are doing such a great job for us, individuals that have raised money through their efforts, and not forgetting other services, delivery drivers, our refuse collectors, contributing still, doing the same thing they've been doing, but under these quite stressful times. And I know some of you guys are still doing your jobs and part-time work on top of some other studies in university prep and maybe careers prep. So again, I'm thinking about you guys when I'm going out to the street and applauding every Thursday. So I'd like you to have a think about how you've been contributing. And this isn't just contributing to your community, and I'll get on to that in a second, but are you making the right steps to push you on once we're past lockdown? Are you thinking about your university courses? Are you thinking about doing some research towards that? Because we've got quite a sustained period of time where you're not in education, where it really would be a mistake not to dip your toe into education in any way. And also any work that you've still got outstanding, just make sure you're giving it your all, contribute to your future self. Are you job seeking? Are you looking for apprenticeships? Many of you will be looking for jobs in September and maybe even earlier start, so you must start that process now. Very, very important. Could you be doing more for your community? The vast majority of you are young, healthy adults. Could you be doing some shopping? Could you be doing some gardening work for maybe others in your community that are less able to do so than you? People are going to be asking you in years to come, what did you do during lockdown? Think about what your response is going to be today. Think about how much better your response could be by the end of the lockdown. What could you do between now and then so that when somebody asks you that question, you've got such a good answer? Because it could potentially come up in a job interview, could potentially just come up in conversation. And wouldn't it be great if you had something really inspirational to give back to them? Your study should be a significant part of that. Obviously, the preparation for your next step should be a considerable part of that. But then think on top of that, what could be the icing on the cake that could really make you stand out from everybody else when asked that question? I'm sure quite a lot of you recognise this image, the Banksy image of the child who's chosen to pick out the NHS worker from his bucket of superhero toys. And I think it's just so indicative of everything that we've got going on during this time. It's International Nurses Week this week as I record, and I know that we've had so many health and social care students throughout the year that have passed through Mrs Barrett and Mrs Birch's classrooms that have gone off to be frontline NHS workers. Over 30 I think they had a count at this week, just to name a few. And also for our current health and social care students that have been completing online courses, readying themselves for university, I know that's been happening. I do want to give a shout out here as well to 4 students that have got university applications in for healthcare related courses. For Lily Thornton, who's looking at doing a nutrition and health course. For Jade Doyley, who's looking to start a university course in midwifery. Rebecca Seeley, looking at a course in pharmacy. And for Alex Goldhawk, who's committed to a course in medicine. So massive shout out to those guys, and especially under the conditions now that we're living in, we're seeing just how important those key workers are for our day-to-day lives. So how are we going to continue contributing towards society and towards our community and towards yourselves? We had to think about it, me and some of the other year leaders, and actually we thought that the academy values of commitment, respect, excellence, self-belief, strength really encapsulated everything that we'd want you to do to continue to contribute. Commitment to yourself, to your future studies, to your career, to your ambitions. Think about committing to who you want to be in 5 years' time and what you need to do now to make that ambition a reality. Respect your community, respect those people around you, respect the people in your household. Do the right thing because it's the right thing to do. This isn't the time to act selfishly. I know you want to see your friends. I know you want to be going out. But this is the time to do the right thing to protect and respect those people around you. Excellence in everything you do. Excellence in the work you're putting in. I know some people are still finishing off just small bits of coursework and getting those bits in to convince their teachers. Make that the first draft. Make that the best work that you can. Self-belief. We're living in difficult times. We're going through difficult times, and it could be very easy, I think, to fall into a bit of a lull and to feel quite low. But knowing that you're doing something proactive, knowing that you're getting up every day and doing something positive that contributes towards your future self is really going to give you a great sense of well-being. And so please make sure you're committing to that. And then finally, strength. Be strong enough to get through this and come out the other side a better person. Be the strong character that your family can lean on when they're feeling low and your friends can lean on when they're feeling low. Be that person that brings everybody through. I just wanted to share with you some of the fantastic work that some of our students have been doing as well during this lockdown and really encapsulating all of those academy values I've just spoken about. We've got our A-level textiles students that have really been contributing by making scrub bags and headbands for key workers and frontline workers. So a massive shout out to those young ladies who are really contributing in such a positive way. And again, when people ask them what they did with the lockdown, they've got such a good story to tell. Such a good thing to add into their life resume about what they've done and what they've contributed. We've also had some spotlights coming from our staff and some parents as well. And again, I just wanted to share with you the names of those students that have really done the extra work, gone above and beyond what was expected of them to raise their profile and make the difference to their future selves whilst on lockdown. Just some final thoughts from me. The first one is, well, do I need to continue to work? The exam boards have said that no more work needs to be submitted. However, if you do have some outstanding bits of coursework your teachers have asked for, can you please make the effort to get those in? As I've said quite a few times, you've got to try and convince the teachers that you're worth the grade that you want. It's not just going to come naturally, and maybe think about, well, what have they got, what evidence have they got up to now to prove that I'm at that merit or distinction star level? Could this bit of work be the thing that tips me over the edge into the next grade boundary up? Results days. So the government have announced that results days are going to be on the same day they were due to be before we had the school closures, which is Thursday the 13th of August. Now what we don't know yet is how that is going to work. We don't know what the situation will be in the country regarding the lockdown, regarding social distancing. So we are busy at the moment working on contingencies and alternatives to how the results day could run, but we will try and work on the fact as well that you will be coming in to receive those results, and we'll be desperately hoping that we'll be allowed to do that for you, because I can't wait to see you all, see all the grades you get and just hear a bit about what you've been up to and what you're going on to next. UCAS and university applications, well, it's a bit of a bigger kettle of fish. Universities were told fairly early on not to amend any offers, because they did start doing that at the start to try and offer some more unconditional places. They've been told not to do that, and they have stopped. They've also been told that the predicted grades that your teacher is putting in that will be ratified by the exam boards will be acceptable. Okay, so that there's not going to be an issue. If you meet your offer to study at the university, you will be accepted. Additionally, should you have any queries, please contact UCAS and your university directly. Whilst I do have a lot of information to hand, the university is going to be going about this in slightly different ways, and probably going direct to them, you'll get answers a bit quicker than if you come to me, so please do that. Make sure you're looking at any information that comes out from the government about education, in particular towards the university, and check your UCAS track page and check the UCAS website for any updates you might get there as well. The last thing on this is that some universities have already come out and said that in September, October through to Christmas, they will be continuing to practice remote learning. So please do look to those universities that you've applied for, your firm and insurance choice, and see what their take is on it at the moment. Because it's important you know that before you're making these quite big financial commitments, so please do go through that, and do ask if you've got any questions. Again, I'm not sure if I'm going to be more use than universities or UCAS themselves, but please do ask it if you just want a bit of advice. Keep your parents in the loop with any decisions you're making, and keep your parents in the loop with all the UCAS information you're getting through, because this is a family decision. You potentially moving out of home is a family decision, or potentially being at home when you were meant to have gone away, and perhaps your parents have to put off turning your room into a gym. Well, we might want to think about that and run it past them as well. The final thing is just on Show My Homework. Mrs. Rabone King has been working really hard populating Show My Homework with lots of careers advice and next steps advice. So please do continue to log on and have a look at the work there that she's put on. As I said, she's put a lot of effort into making that a really, really fantastic and useful resource for you to start planning your next steps. It should really be something that started a little while ago, but it's not too late if you haven't started that bit. So please do make sure we are doing that. Last thing from me is just to say thank you. You've made me and all your teachers so incredibly proud over the last couple of months. And in fact, over the last 2 years that you've been members of our sixth form. I'm gutted that we weren't able to have the final goodbye that you deserved, and perhaps that actually all your teachers and that we deserved as well. But I'm glad that we did manage to put together that Leaders Assembly before we went. I had such a good time delivering that assembly to you, and I hope that you had a good time as well. It's one that I'm never going to forget, that's for absolute sure. I can't wait to hopefully see you back again in school on results day. So please just keep your eyes peeled on Show My Homework and ask your parents to check their emails from anything from the school, because it could be relating to the results day and how we're processing those. And if we can't see each other on results day, I hope that we can catch up at some point in the future, just to hear how wonderful you're being and whatever it is you've gone on to for your next steps. Thanks, guys.